Phone check 1 2 1 2. Episode number 108. You are now tuned in to the network, YouTube channel that takes this network and shit and make it fun. Y'all know what it is. We're doing OSPF again today. I'm gonna be working with Eve and G today. I already kind of did the addressing here, the IP addressing and stuff, just to save us some time. I dragged and dropped some routers. So if you are just tuned in, go ahead and join the Discord server. Again, this is not really a lab that I shared or anything like that. So if you have a copy of the CCNP lab manual, specifically for Encore, you can find this, I believe, in chapter 9 or something like that. And I kind of broke down the steps here in a more concise, I guess, list of steps. We got Foster in the building, Diane Foster, bruh, what's up? We got PS in the building, Paul Cole. Appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, checking in. Y'all hit me with that like button. Yeah, make sure you join the Discord server and you can get a copy of the topology here, or you can just kind of just drag and drop 3 routers just like this right here, these 3 guys right here, and then 2 layer 3 routers, or switches rather, and then 2 PCs at the end. I haven't really configured the PCs now that I think about it. And then the list of steps, I'll put that in the Discord server as well, because I don't want to put it in the chat there. It's like 20 steps or something like that, man. It's something crazy. But and then after that, we got to do some verification, kind of look over some LSAs and stuff like that. I have yet to memorize them. I don't know about y'all, but that's something I definitely got to get going here. So I'm going to put in the Discord server the list of steps that we're going to be going with. It says send longer messages with Discord Nitro. I guess this is too long. Hang on a second here. This is a link, an invite to the Discord server. Typically I stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but today I was just busy, man. I had so much going on, man. People was calling me, I couldn't even answer the phone. I was so damn busy. And what else I got going on here? So I'll give you guys some time to kind of get the lab topology. Let me see if can I enter this. Yeah, can I enter it? Yeah, okay. So I entered the steps in the Discord server. I don't want to put it in the web chat right there. But we got Dave W in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. You get a bruh. You get a bruh. You all get a bruh. I'm like, oh, Oprah. Let's see. Wanted to see while y'all get y'all labs ready. I'm using Even G today again. If you guys want to use GNS3, that's fine with me. Bars. If you want to use Packet Tracer, you might be able to run most of this stuff on Packet Tracer. You should be able to. Yesterday we did a multi-area OSPF lab with Packet Tracer. So while you guys get ready, I wanted to see what we got in the on the news today. Oh, this is what I wanted to let y'all know about. This is something I need. This is really impacting me right here. Y'all know, since I've been doing these news headlines and stuff like that, right? 90% of the time, it's like some kind of breach, some kind of data breach, or cybersecurity attack. And speaking of cybersecurity, shout out to Professor Black Ops. He kind of covered this yesterday on his channel too. And I saw this news headline, but I was like, I'll read that tomorrow. T-Mobile has been hacked yet again, but still doesn't know what was taken. God damn it, I got to change my password because guess who I have? T-Mobile. Data reportedly includes social security numbers, driver's license numbers for more than 100 million people. T-Mobile said on Monday that hackers breached its internal servers and that company investigators are in the process of determining if the incident involves the theft of sensitive data. We have determined that unauthorized access to some T-Mobile data occurred. However, we have not yet determined if there is any personal data, consumer data involved, the company said in a statement. We have been working around the clock to investigate claims made that T-Mobile data may have been illegally accessed. They say claims, and they still trying to figure out what was taken, but all they know is that some sort of breach happened, right? The statement came a day after Motherboard reported that a forum post was advertising a massive trove of data for sale. The post didn't mention T-Mobile, but the seller told the publication that data related to more than 100 million people and that it came from T-Mobile servers. I'm gonna have to really change my password, man. The seller reportedly said that the data included social security numbers, phone numbers, names, physical addresses, unique IMEI numbers, driver's license numbers. Motherboard confirmed that samples of data made available by the seller contained accurate information on T-Mobile customers. That's really not a good look, man. That's really not a good look. Not just because the NetworkBruh has T-Mobile, but yeah, that's not a good look, man. 100 million people too. That's crazy. And they even provided screenshots of I guess some like pretty much the CLI of the servers. And yeah, that's just crazy. The person who claims to have compromised T-Mobile says the company misconfigured a gateway GPRS support node that was apparently used for testing. It was exposed to the internet. That allowed the person to eventually pivot to the LAN or get onto the local area network, right? So basically, we have the wide area network right here. And the hacker somewhere out here in the internet, they was able to somehow get to the to whatever the server was. That is, I guess the server has some kind of public facing interface, and they was able to get to the local area network and breach the data. So, and then they gave a screenshot of the proof. That's just crazy, man. Crazy, 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 man. We got Zaya in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. Bless up, bless up. Juan said, "Damn, I know, man." Man, yeah, go ahead and change your password to T-Mobile, bro. They got hacked, bro. That shit's crazy, man. Shit is crazy. I'm just giving it some time. Appreciate you for tuning in, Zaya. We are just, I haven't gotten started yet. I'm just letting some people tune in. Make sure you log on or, get onto the Discord server. You'll see the list of steps that we're going to be going over and stuff. And then this is the lab. I already did the IP addressing and stuff like that. The topology is also in the Discord server. Here is key. I know I like doing my drawings and shit like that. So I made a copy of it there. And we'll just give it like 3 more minutes for some people to tune in, and then we'll get started and stuff, right? And don't get intimidated by all the steps. I know it's just that I broke it down to every little step that we got to do. I like following things to a T like that. So again, I already did the IP addressing. I just got to do the PCs. I didn't do the PCs. So while y'all get y'all labs ready, I'm gonna get the PCs going and do some IP addressing for those guys. How you do IP addressing? You just do IP addressing in the address? What is he? The PCs are, let's see, .10. So he's going to be 10.10.1.10. 10.10.1.10. Right? So we get back to the PC there. Where's he at? Where you at though? I think it's his IP address. Or is it just IP and then the address? Let me see. Can't remember. IP. And then I believe just the address. Yep. So IP, and then he's gonna be 10.10. Y'all know I got a short-term memory, man. 1.10. So 1.10. Subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Checking for duplicate address. And then after that, let's see if we can ping the gateway. I should do a gateway too, though. Yeah, let's give him a gateway. Do the same thing, and then we'll do the gateway, which is 10.10.1.1. Right? Is that how you do the gateway? Yeah, I think you can do it that way. And then you can verify the work, how you view it again. Do you just do IP address like that? No. How do you view it, though? I can't remember how you view it. Let's see. Clear, quit, save, show. So show IP. There you go, right there. Show IP. So that's the IP address. That's the gateway. Let's see if we can ping the gateway, and then I'm gonna do the other side, and then we'll get started. I hope you guys are gonna follow along with me, right? Lab along with me, right? Don't just watch, because you ain't really gonna learn. So we got some replies there. Let's go ahead and go to PC2 or PC3, I guess he is. Do the same thing, and then we'll get started. Again, join the Discord server. The link is in the chat there, and then you could download the steps to this lab and its topology. He said 2-form factor authentication if possible. That is a good way to kind of lock down your phone and stuff like that. 2-form factor authentication. There's a whole bunch of them that are out there. There's Okta. Google has its own 2-form factor authentication application. Who else? There's a whole bunch of them out there. You can just go to the Play Store or the iPhone or the App Store for iPhone, and You can get that too. Paul said they will kill them trying to branch out selling home. He said that will kill them trying to branch out selling home internet. Man, listen, man. If they can't even keep their, phone data safe, man. Imagine internet. Imagine they have customers for the internet, man. That's crazy, man. I mean, essentially, T-Mobile is an ISP, but they do more cellular phone data, right? Cellular data, but yeah, that's just crazy. But that's what these hackers say. Any of y'all can get it, man. Any of y'all can get breached. Let me go to PC3 and then we'll get started, right? IP address is, he said he is going to be, what's his address? Let me do this. Can I? Oh, display too small. I can't do it that way. So I can't do it that way. Okay, I can do it this way right here. Good. Now I can go back and forth. He is going to be 10.10.5.10. So 10.10.5.10. So 10.10.5.10 subnet mask of /24.0, and then his gateway should be .1.10.5. And then what am I missing here? Oh, you don't put address, you just put IP. I know I'm not used to VCPS. And then we'll ping the gateway and get started. 10.10.5.1. Did we get a reply? We got a reply. Okay, good to go. Y'all ready? Step one. Y'all know, typically I put the lab right, the details right in here. For some reason, I got this error here. Undefined message. Check if the UNet lab VM is powered on. If it is, see logs. And I ain't got time to do all of that shit, man. Look, I got the VM powered on for Eve, and it's giving me all this shit. Y'all know this is why I like hardware. Shit like this right here. But whatever. I digress. All right, so I already did step one, which was configuring the basic IP addressing. I did the host names, disable DNS resolution, the log interruptions, which is basically logging sync, and the interface addressing. If y'all want, I could just verify. Y'all know I always have to verify because my boss says so, right? We'll just do Pete's favorite command. I meant to do enable wake up router 1. Let's pick another router because I fucked up already, right? Show protocols, and 1601 and 1611 on router 2, right? So router 2 is 1611 and 1601 rather. This is router 2. Oh, so router 2 is right here. So my bad. So 16.1.1, and then the other side is 0.1 right there. Yeah, so I look like I'm good to go there. Let me just try this. Let me try router 1 to ping router 2. I'm going to do that real quick. So go to router 1, just testing basic connectivity here. Plus, I'm giving y'all some time to catch up. Who is that? He said he's 172.16.0.1. Get on their knees, pray to the network gods. So we got already some troubleshooting to do here. Let's see. Is he directly connected? Oh, I'm on router. Yeah, I'm on router 1. Let's see what I got here. Let's take a look at my routing table. Show IP routes. I am connected to 0.2 network. 0.0 network, and I am 0.2. What is my IP address though? Show protocols. So good thing we tested. This is good thing we tested all this, right? 16.0.2/30. Y'all got any questions so far? They have a lot of ads for home internet going on right now. I didn't know that, man. I did not know that. And you know what? I was thinking, man, because I'd like to consolidate my bills and stuff like that. I have a different ISP, obviously, and then my phone T-Mobile. So, yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know they do internet though. Don't know if I want to sign up with them now, right? Let's see. What am I doing wrong here? We have a connected network. Why can't we ping 0.1? Let's take a look at our CDP neighbors. I am probably not. Yes, it is up. Gig 01. Let's see. That's gig 01. Jesus. Where's my topology here? Okay, that's supposed to be 0, 0. That's why. So I probably got those two mixed up. Gig 00 is, yeah, that's correct. That is correct. 0.2. And then router 2. Let's take a look at router 2's. 0.1 is gig 00. So yeah, he should have been able to ping him. Not too sure why he don't see him as a neighbor. Show CDP neighbor. Does he see a neighbor? He only sees router 3 as a neighbor. He don't see. Oh, that's why. Right there. Y'all see the answer? It's admin down. So let's bring that up. Interface GI00. No shut. And then let's try to ping. I'm gonna save that right there. Let's save that. Say that. Let's have router 1 ping him now. Let's try to do that. That was admin down. So now if I do a show IP, show CDP neighbors, I should see 2 neighbors now. Yep, now I got 2 neighbors. Let's see if we can ping. Who was it? 0.1. Now we got a reply. Good to go. Now let's see if we can have router 2 ping router 3. So go to router 2 and have him ping router 3, who is ping 172. He is 1.2, 16.1.2. So 16.1.2. And we got a reply. Good to go. Okay. Good to go. Okay. I should do end-to-end connectivity though, right? We should always test all the way, right? Fully verify. I can hear my boss's head, my boss's voice in my head right now. Verify. Router 3. Let's have router 3 ping this router right here. This router right here. Or this layer 3 switch. Router 2 needs to ping 10.10.4.2. No, that's router 2. Router 3, ping 10.10.4.4.3. 4.3. And if you don't reply, I think I already know why. Bars. He didn't reply. We got to reply to that request, but it was from 10.4.2, who was the router. Show CDP neighbor. Let's see who's his neighbor. He does see D2 as a neighbor, but layer 3 is not working, probably because of step number 2 right there. Enable routing on D1 and D2. Y'all know why we got to enable routing there, right? We got to enable routing on these guys right here because they are, I'll let somebody in the chat answer why. And I'll show you in the meantime, right? So we got to go to router or Delta 1. Where is he at? There's D1 right there. I'm going to scoot him over. D1. Go to global config mode. We say IP routing. This turns on routing essentially, right? We got to do the same thing with D2, who is right there. This is going to also turn on routing. Enable global config mode. We said IP routing. Let's try that. And see show IP route. We have a routing table. Now let's see if router 3 can ping router Delta 2. Router 3 is that guy. And see if we can ping him now. Delta. I'm speaking in my phonetics over here. Like I used to work for the police department. They had me talking like that. Don't look why we got to reply. It says reply to request from 0 there. I guess that's a reply. That's not a reply, man. Echoes 2, 10. No, that's not how it's gonna look, man. That don't look right. It's supposed to be like this right here. Loop. If we got a reply. Unless that's how the routers. Let's do this. Let's have the. I'm gonna do it the other way around. So I'm gonna have the switch ping router 3 like that. Where's the switch at? Delta 2, and have him ping. Who's that? 10.10.4.1. So 10.10.4.1. And he got a reply. So I guess for some reason it looks different. Is this a reply? Y'all let me know. It says sending 5. It says reply to request 0 from 10.4.2, who is, yeah, this guy. So I guess that's a reply. I don't know. What was the question? Pete said, what was the question? The question was, why do I have to enable routing on D1 and D2? Once I did that, I was able to get some replies. I guess those are replies because I never seen a ping replies look like that. But whatever. Let's go back to D1 and do the same thing. The fuck was that? Like somebody's dog out there, man. So I'm gonna have D1 ping router 1, and then we'll get to the OSPF stuff, right? Ping, what is he? 10.10.0.1. Get on our knees, pray to the network gods, and we got to reply 80%. Kelvin said you pinged the broadcast. I did. Let's see. Router 3. Let's see. Router 3. 10.4.3 is the broadcast address. Oh, it's supposed to be 10.4.2. Why did I do that? There it goes right there. Man, good catch, Kelvin. This is why I'm glad you tuned in. Let's see. He said layer 3 switch. Exactly. Pete got it right. So we had to turn on routing because these guys are switches. That's not on by default. And you turn it on with just IP routing and it turns it on. Kevin said that's the proper form for a broadcast when a source of the reply equals the destination of the request. That's crazy. I have never seen that before. This is why we got a lab, y'all. See, I didn't even realize what the fuck I was doing here. I was actually pinging the broadcast address instead of the actual address that I needed, the host address, which is that right there, and that's why I got a reply. That's crazy. So this is what happens when you send a broadcast. I've never seen that before. Never seen that before. Experience, man. Experience. Anyways, it looks like we got end-to-end connectivity. Let's see if PC1 can ping PC3, and then we'll finally get on to the show, right? PC1 will ping. What is PC3? Oh, well, we don't even have routing, so I don't even. Will it happen? Can we ping it? Can we ping all the way across? We don't have. Well, we have they're locally connected, so. No, but this guy don't know about these networks right over here. So theoretically, that won't work, right? Pinging all the way across. He is 10.10.5.1. No, I don't think so. Ping 10.10.5.1. Yeah, unreachable. So we gotta fix all of this before we get internet connectivity. So let's do that. Step number 1: implement on D1. Implement IP OSPF process ID 123. So we're going to start off with OSPF on this switch right here and give him that router ID right there. 111.2, right? So go to D1, go to global config mode, and then we say router OSPF router. You got to put the actual R there. OSPF 123. That'll be that like button. And shout out to Kelvin for finding that because I never seen that. You see it when you're doing pings for multicast, since you ping multicast groups as the destination for the request. Who's going to reply though? But you'll never see the multicast group used as the source for an ICMP reply. That's. I guess you could kind of answer my question, but who would reply on a multicast address if you did that? That's pretty cool though. I've never like even thought about doing that. That's like some Matrix shit right there. Like I would think just ping the host address. Right, you can only host addresses are pingable. The broadcast, I mean the network address is not. You're not going to get a response up there. But I never thought about pinging the broadcast address and then getting replies like that. And who did we get a reply from? I'm going off task here, but let me see. Router 3, we got a reply from 4.2, who was it was this guy right here. He was 4.2, right? Yeah, so 4.2, and he the one that replied and said, "Hey." I'm the guy that is the gateway here. What do you need? So go back to D1. Let's get back on task here. They say router OSPF process ID number 3, right? And then we got to give them that IP address or the router ID of quad or 1.1.1.2. Let's see who we got so far though. Do show IP protocols. Did we get a IP address yet? A router ID yet? No. Yes, we did. That's our router ID, 10.10.1.1. But they want us to change that, and then we'll probably have to clear the process, right? So router ID, he said 1.1.1.2. Let me move this out of the way because there's too many damn windows there. I'm missing a dot there. .2. And then he didn't give me the warning there, so let's see. Show IP protocols. It took it that time. Interesting. Oh, probably because it's a switch. I don't know. That's different. That's different. I thought it would have asked me to clear the process, but who knows? Who knows? Who cares? Oh, because we did not have a neighbor yet. We did not have a neighbor yet. That's why he didn't ask us to reset the process there. Next task was to set the reference bandwidth to distinguish between gigabit and fast Ethernet interfaces. Right? So I think that's like that auto bandwidth command that we got to do for that. I don't remember. Auto cost reference bandwidth. So what we got to do is go to the interface. We got to go to this interface right here and put that. So did he tell us to do any network statements yet? Not just yet. Not just yet. Oh, that's probably coming up. So let's get out of this real quick. Interface GI, what is that? 02, that interface right there, and change the reference bandwidth 0/2. Auto cost. Oh no, that's not it. Oh, you gotta do it right on the router configuration mode. So I thought you got to do it on the interface. So check this out. Get out of this. Go back to router config mode. Router OSPF123, and we just say auto cost like that. Reference bandwidth. Y'all know ain't no shame on my game to do those question marks there, and then change the reference bandwidth. We'll do 1000, and then right here it says here, please ensure reference bandwidth is consistent across all routers. So we got to do the same thing probably on the other side too. Remember that command. We got to do that on the other interfaces as well. Right there, see there? Let's see what he said. The device is assigned to that group. Oh, okay. Yeah, but will all devices in that multicast, will they all respond? That's my question. In that multicast group, or who is it? One specific device that will respond? I don't know, because like in this case, when I pinged the broadcast address, he responded 5 times, right? On router 3, right? This right here, 10.4.2. He responded, even though I pinged the broadcast address instead of the actual host address, which is right there, 10.4.2. In a multicast address, who would respond? That's my question. But that's a good discussion. Back to Delta 1. Next thing we needed to do was to configure the interfaces connected to router 1 to participate in OSPF area 1. So this interface right over, let's see, on D1 or router 1. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to put this interface in OSPF area 1. We'll do the same thing over here too. So these guys are going to be in area 1 using that process ID. I even labeled it too, right? I forgot about that. So we'll go to that interface. I'll do it interface specific, right? So we go to interface GI 0/1. I forgot who pointed that out, that we could turn on OSPF on the specific interface as opposed to using network statements, which is a lot easier. We ain't got to do all that wildcard mask calculation and shit, right? So IP OSPF, wrong interface. I'm glad I caught myself. It's supposed to be 02, right? That's 02. Interface GI 0/2, and then IP OSPF, and then what, we got to put the process ID? No, you just do, let's see, question mark. Y'all know I don't care. So process ID 123, and then the area. So area OSPF area process ID 123, and then the area is 1. So we got to do area 1 for that interface. Now, next thing they want us to do is on D1 to configure the interface connected to PC1 to participate in area 1 as well. So we got to do the same thing with that interface, GI02 or 03. So, and I'm gonna do interface specific, so that way, I ain't gotta. Well, we'll do it differently. We'll do 10.10. We'll do that interface. We'll do a network statement for this one, just to mix it up, right? Anybody got any questions so far or anything? Interface GI 0. What was that? 03. 0/3. And we'll do a network statement. So we'll say network Oops. No, we got to get out. We don't do an interface. We got to do, if we're going to do the network statement, we got to do the routing process, right? So router OSPF 1, 2, 3. And then we say network 10.10. What is that network? That network is the 1.0/24 network, right? So 1.0, and then we work with wildcard masks. We don't care about that last octet, so it's 0000255. We say area 1, right? Area 1. That should be in area 1. Now we should have 2 interfaces in area 1. We can verify with what? Show IP protocols. We're routing for 2 networks. But how many interfaces? Which one tells us interface? Is it just show IP OSPF? I think that's what it is. Show IP OSPF. To say how many interfaces we have or participating in OSPF. Which one tells us that? Which one tells us that? Anybody remember? Number of interfaces in this area, 2. There it is right there. So we got 2 in area 1. That's what I wanted to check. Anybody got any questions so far, or anybody have any other pointers on how I could speed up the process here? Let's go to, I guess we can move on to router 1 and do the same thing. So we've done with, I think we're pretty much done with OSPF there. We gave them the router ID. We put those interfaces in OSPF. Let's go to router 1 and do the same thing here, right? So I'm going to router 1 is over here. Bloop. Y'all hit me that like button. Make sure you subscribe to your boy if this is the first time you're tuned in. Go to global config mode. So same thing, process ID number 1231, step number 9 out of 21. And remember, I just kind of like wrote down the steps plus just like that, so that way we have something to follow and stuff like that, and we're following along here. So yeah, same thing pretty much. Router OSPF 1, 2, 3, and then I will do. Let's do interface specific again. No, we can't do interface specific, and I was going to use a range command, but you see why I can't do that? Because this interface is going to be in area 0, and that interface is going to be in area 1, so I can't do that. I'm gonna have to, if I do them area specific, interface specific, I have to use the actual interface, right? So let's do this, or put in a different area number. So interface GI 0/1, we say IP OSPF. The process ID again is 1, 2, 3, and then area 1, right? And then we're gonna put gig 0/0 in area 0. And notice we have a neighbor here. We got OSPF neighbor that just came up, right? Let's just see who came up, right? We pretty much know what it is, right? It should be D1, right? Let's just show IP OSPF neighbor. Y'all got any questions so far, or y'all kind of quiet? Y'all just follow along. So the neighbor is this guy right here, D1. He came up, and that's his IP address. That is the interface. He is, we learned it from, right? Because I'm GI01. That's mine, GI01. That's not the local interface. I remember somebody said that would be the other guy's interface. It's actually my interface. This is where I learned it from. So I learned about this neighbor right here, Quad 1, 2, who is this guy. I learned it from GI01 because his interface is GI02. Somebody told me that this will be the neighbor's address. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to router 1 and let's put that interface right here in area 0. Go to global config mode. Interface GI00. We say IP OSPF. And I like these these better than the network statements, man. This is a lot easier. 1, 2, 3. Area 0. Did we do that already? I didn't. Okay, good. So that's in area 0. Let's give him a router ID. His router ID is supposed to be 1.1.1.1, right? What's my ID now? Show IP protocols. My ID is probably a configured interface 16.0.2. So let's change my router ID. Go to global config mode. Router OSPF 1, 2, 3. Router ID is 1.1.1.1. And now I got to do the clear IP OSPF. See, so that's different. That's something new I learned right there. It looks like the layer 3 switches don't ask you to clear a process. No, that's not why. I think it's because we didn't have a neighbor. We didn't have a neighbor. Yeah, I think that's the reason why. Now I have to clear the process. So that's the reason why. Not because it was one is a router and one is a switch, right? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, though. Clear, IP, OSPF, and then I'll say 1, 2, 3, and then process. So it's just one specific process. Reset the process, yes. That should tear down the relationship. Raphael, I'm not even pronounce that, but Raphael said, keep up the awesome content. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. It's just like comments like that. And when you guys tuned in, that's what keeps me going. I really was going to cancel tonight's stream. I really was. But I was like, I'm going to get there a little late. I'm going to be tired. I ain't really have nothing to eat. I'm really kind of fasting right now. Anyway, I'm trying to skip dinner. But I said, you know what? Typically I stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I said, instead of that, I'm going to go ahead and just stream a little later. So I'm streaming at 9 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I thank you for that, Raphael. So now that it went down, did he come back up yet? Maybe he's still learning. Let's see. So there it goes right there. Now it came back up. So it took a little bit minute there. Let's go to, I guess we can go to router 2, right? What step did I have there? Because I wrote them down. Router 1. Let's do the reference bandwidth again. So we need to do the same thing on that interface and that interface. Anybody want to come up with a clearer definition on why we got to do the reference bandwidth and change that? Is it because back then when they had OSPF, they didn't have like gigabit Ethernet interfaces and fast Ethernet didn't even, so it couldn't distinguish between the two speeds and it gave it the same cost? Like they gave a gigabit interface and a fast Ethernet interface the same cost? That's the reason why we got to do the auto cost reference? Y'all let me know. I think that's the reason why though. Pete said, you keep us going. Hey, you guys keep me going, man. When y'all like, man, is there a stream tonight? And it keeps me accountable to like lab like this. Because back in the day, I wouldn't do this shit, man. I would just try to like learn and just move on. We'll go to global config mode, interface, what was it? 01 and 00. So we'll do an interface range. Interface range GI 00 through 1 through 00 through 1. There we go. And then auto cost. No, we got to do it on the damn. No, you can't do that. So you got to do it. You got to do it from router config mode. OSPF 1, 2, 3. Kevin, if you're still in there, if you want to explain, that's what he said. Dan said correct. Otherwise, a 10 gigabit will be the same as fast Ethernet. Okay, that's what I thought. Peter Hunt said, "Lab, and you will always learn something new. Good stuff." Hey, man. Like I said, like even though like I don't know everything, but when I'm labbing and I'm like trying to teach what I know from you guys, and I'm like, oh shit, that I've never seen that before. You learn something new all the time. Dan said, or gigabit, etc. Okay, so I was correct in my explanation there. I was just trying to figure out a simpler way of explaining why we got to do the whole auto cost reference thing. He said they had slower speeds before. Yes, exactly. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, it's just y'all know I try to like make things a little bit simpler. Like y'all know the white papers can just be really confusing this shit, right? So the way we did that was what? Auto cost reference and then reference bandwidth, and then you got to do something like a reference bandwidth will be 1000 for that, and then ensure that the reference bandwidth is consistent across all routers, and that's what we're gonna do. So we got to make sure, and I said this earlier, to make sure we do this on all of them, so that way they have this, like they're using the same reference, basically reference bandwidth. So being that we did that on that routing process, it should apply to both of these, even though they're gigabit interfaces. It should apply to both of them, and they're separate. They're also participating in different areas too. So let's go to router 2, and let me see. I want to follow my steps to a T, just so we don't make sure we don't miss anything. Configure interface. Yeah, we did that. So yeah, now we're on step number 13 out of 21. So we're halfway there, I guess. Go to router 2 and pretty much do the same thing. So it's like cut and paste here, right? Router 2. We was doing the ping here. This extended ping. Let me get out of this. Okay, so global config mode, router, OSPF, 1, 2, 3. Now, y'all see the difference between last week and this week's labs, right? Last week we had single area, right? Now we're doing multi-area. We was just working with area 0, which is known as the backbone area, and now we've implemented or added, we have introduced new areas, but we don't say routers are in an area. We just say they have an interface in this area and an interface in that area, hence multi-area OSPF, right? I don't want to do network statements because I be fucking those. Let's do a network statement. Just let's do a network statement. Let's give him the router ID of 2.2.2.1. So router ID is going to be this right there. Bloop. And he didn't have to clear the process, probably because he's not a neighbor yet. That's probably why. He's not a neighbor yet. Until we broadcast out of that network or use interface specific. But let's do a network statement. I'll just pop quiz y'all right now. Let's see if y'all pay attention. How can I put this interface right here? Right? That interface right there. Somebody put in a network statement in the chat on that. What will make router 2 become a neighbor with this guy right here? Right? Somebody put in the chat. First one to put it gets a bruh. Pete said, exam tip. Do not confuse OSPF costs with STP costs because that will fuck you up. Haha. Oh, that is so true. Because STP uses the concept of costs as well. We don't want to confuse those two, but Pete said FR for real, I'm assuming you're saying? Or are you referencing the France? I don't know. But anyways, give me a network statement that's going to have router 2 become a neighbor with router 1. Cue the Jeopardy theme song here. You, sir, in the back. Give me a network statement. I know you just walked in. In the meantime, let's see what else we had on the IT world here. Wow, that's crazy. And I heard Twitter and actually Facebook did the same thing here too. WhatsApp shuts down Taliban helpline in Kabul. That's crazy. It's meant to act as an emergency hotline for civilians to report violence and looting. Damn, that's crazy, man. And then I think we withdrew our troops from there as well. I don't want to talk about politics on this channel, so I'm just going to talk about the technological, part of it. WhatsApp has shut down a complaints helpline set up by the Taliban when it took control of Kabul after the messaging app came under pressure to block the group from using its services. It's crazy. The complaint number was supposed to act as an emergency hotline for civilians to report violence, looting, or other problems. The Taliban advertised the helpline to... Now, see, Taliban, helpline, I didn't think those would go together in the same sentence, but... apparently, and then they was talking about women's rights and stuff like that. Tell me, is it because the media portrays that the Taliban is such an evil group, but then they have helplines and they talk about women's rights and stuff like that over there, as long as it follows the Islamic, culture and stuff like that. They advertised the helpline on Sunday when it captured the city and has used similar WhatsApp hotlines in the past. For example, when it took over the city of Kunduz in 2016. After taking Kabul, the Taliban pledged to create a stable government and not to harm the life and property and honor of citizens. See? I don't know. I'm kind of confused. Is it just because Americans, the American media portrays the Taliban to be a really like this evil group? They talking about setting up helplines and women's rights and stuff, and talking about not to harm the life and property and honor of citizens. Is what I don't know. Somebody put a network statement there yet? Pete said yes. If you want to be lazy, 0.0. Yes, we can do that. I like that statement. I like that one. I'm gonna copy and paste that, man. However, Pete forgot something, y'all. I said a whole network statement. What did Pete forget? If anybody else want to chime in. Facebook, the owner of WhatsApp, said it had blocked the number on Tuesday along with other Taliban channels and added it was actively scanning group names, descriptions, and profile pictures on the messaging app to prevent the Taliban from using it. It added that the team of native Dari and Pashto speakers were helping to identify and alert us to emerging issues on the platform. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I think Facebook did the same thing, and maybe Twitter, stopped, blocked any kind of any Taliban media or videos or anything that promotes the Taliban. So they shut it off. Pete said, area, my bad, exam failed. Hey, it's all good, man. I used to do that too because I was so focused on configuring EIGRP, and with network statements. But when you get back to OSPF, you forget you got to put the area ID on there. So yeah, I like that network statement that he put there. We also have to put the area. So we're going to put those two interfaces. So with that network statement, we should be able to put that interface and this interface in area 0. So I like that, Pete. I like that one. So area 0, we should theoretically see one neighbor. And there it is right there. That is router quad 1. Yeah, so that's this guy. He became a neighbor. So now these two are neighbors. What else we need here? And we were being lazy, so we shouldn't have to do this side. Let's go ahead and move on to router 3. Router 3 is over here. We'll go to global config mode. Why does that happen? Router OSPF 123. We said we want to give him the router ID of 3331. So router ID 3.3.3.1. Right, that should be good enough. And then I don't want to use a network statement this time. Let's just do interface specific. We'll say GI00. So we go to that interface GI00. We say IP OSPF 0 area. I'm sorry, 123 area 0. I'm so used to network statements. I'm just starting to getting used to putting the interface specific. And we should see a neighbor come up with this. There it is right there. So now get all this shit out the way here. Now these two guys are neighbors, right? They said hello, they exchanged hellos, they exchanged router ID information, and they became neighbors. So what else we need to do here? We needed the auto cost reference there. Let's get out of this. Router OSPF 123. We said auto cost reference bandwidth 1000. Now I guess what I need to remember is how to figure out what number you got to put, like the actual reference bandwidth, if you want to. I think there's a list of them, what the reference bandwidth would be. There should be a list of them. I don't remember. Landerman said, is this CCNP labbing been looking to start Encore soon? Yes, it is actually. If you have a copy of I guess I haven't been promoting my little study sheet, CCNP lab manual. It is called the CCNP Encore Lab Manual. This should be on chapter 9. So, yes, it is Encore level. But in a way, this is semi. No, this is they took away multi-area OSPF from CCNA, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think CCNA has just single area OSPF, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this is a CCNP level lab. But anyways, what was the next thing we needed to do? We put OSPF. We did the reference bandwidth. Let's put that interface in OSPF, which is gig 01. So we'll go gig 01. Actually, we'll use a network statement. We'll do something different here. Let's mix it all up right here, right? So the network statement that will work for this guy right here will be 10.10.4.0. That should be a good network statement. Yep. So router 3, network 10.10.4.0. And then we work with wildcard masks, right? So if it's /30, that means it's a 0003. We said what area this need to be in? That needs to be in area 2. That's in area 2, right? Y'all see that? Notice this interface right here. And get all this shit out the way. This interface right here is in area 0. And then that interface right there is in area 2, right? So that's why we got to be really specific with our network statements and our interface specific commands and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and go to distribution switch number 2. This guy right here. Do the same thing, right? What step are we at now? I guess we're pretty much on step 18 out of 21. Then after that, we're going to be looking at some LSAs and stuff like that, which I have yet to memorize. And there's 11 of them, but for the exam, I think we really need to know just about 6 of them, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. what he said. Yeah. So let's go to distribution switch number 2. We'll do the same routing process, right? Process number 1, 2, 3. Enable. Go to global config mode and router OSPF 1, 2, 3. And then we will give him the router ID of this right here, 3.3.3.2. So router ID 3.3.3.2. Yeah, I really got to get those LSAs memorized, man. I came up with a little, like some flashcards on the Anki, but man, I'm just not used to using Anki. There's so many options and so many plugins, and there's so much you could do with Anki, man. I'm just like getting overwhelmed. I have yet to use it every day, and I know it's a great application. I have yet to use it though, like that on a consistent basis. What we needed to do. Let's put that interface. Well, we can put both of them in area 2 at this point. So, what interface is that? GI02 and 3. They need to be in area 2, right? So we could use our interface range command for this one, right? Interface range GI 0/ we said 2 and 3. So 0, 2 and 3. We could say IP OSPF. The process ID was 1, 2, 3, and then the area is area 2. We should see a neighbor come up, get on our knees, pray to the network gods, prayer hands emoji. There it is right there. It went from loading to full, so now he has a neighbor, which should be Delta 2's neighbor should be router 3 right there, right? We verify that with what? Show IP OSPF neighbor. And we see we got a neighbor right there, right? He's full. There's the dead timer. Remember they expire. Pop quiz. What is the default dead timer on the broadcast network? Default dead timer for a broadcast network in OSPF. Pop quiz. Pete said it takes 10 hours to make the damn cards. Man, listen, man. It takes so... I downloaded a whole set of cards, man, and I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out a way to filter. I've got tags and everything like that. Let me show y'all real quick. I'm kind of going off a tangent here, but let's see. I know I got it installed here. Where is it? And key. There it is right there. Okay. I made some for myself. I made some OSP, like LSA ones, because I was like, I know these. I really got to memorize these. I have yet to memorize them. Where is this application? Launch, man. He's coming up somewhere. I know I clicked him. While he's launching up, let's move on. Configure the D2 to there it is right there. It's coming up. It's coming up, y'all. D2 to advertise its interfaces in OSPF area 2, and there it is right there. See, this is how old it was. I was like back when I was studying for the route exam, when it used to be called that. And I made specifically. Let's see. Can I look at these? Can I look at this deck? See, I want to just look at this deck. Decks. CCNP route. I want to browse this. Route. And then I made, look how long ago. Well, no, this is when it's due. This is how long ago. Like I made these LSA flashcards a while back because I have yet to memorize these, man. Type 1 is known as a router LSA, but I need a better definition for that. Because I know the router LSA, what does he do? He broadcasts his router ID, right? And does he get to directly connect to networks, right? And that's flooded within the area. What else can y'all tell me about a router LSA or type 1 LSA? But yeah, I really need to memorize these, y'all. Anyway, let's see. I think we're done with Delta 2. Let's see. We configured them to advertise as interfaces in area 2. Oh, we got to do the reference bandwidth, and I think we should be done, right? So go back to global router config mode, OSPF 1, 2, 3. Auto cost reference bandwidth is 1000. Please ensure it is consistent across our routers, which we have. And let's see here. Next thing they wanted us to do is just verify OSPF and explore LSAs on D1. So we'll go to D1 and do those. I guess check out those LSAs, which I'm kind of like dreading, man. I really got to memorize those. I keep forgetting, man. Let's see. Raphael said 40 seconds. Yes, that's right. That's the dead timer default on a broadcast network. 40 seconds. Dan said it too. 40 seconds. Y'all paying attention. I'm glad y'all know these fun facts here. when you start having to do 300 or more daily, it's mainly a pain. 300 or more, what you mean? Like flashcards? Or what? Because, yeah, man, those flashcards, man, I have yet to. And not only that, I downloaded some other people's decks. There's one guy, his name was NetworkBruh. I actually met him. He used to live here in Orlando. I think he still lives in Orlando. He had a set of, it's like 2,000 flashcards in here. It's for the CCIE exam, back when it was version 5. And it's like a whole bunch. He has flashcards for damn near every topic. And then he organized them with tags. So if you want to do AAA, he got some tags on. He got some flashcards on those. What we doing today? OSPFv2, which is right here, and he's got tons on those right there. Let's see if we get. Let me ask y'all a random question. Let's see. Dan's on the ball, and so is Raphael there. Let me ask y'all a random OSPF since we're doing OSPF today. Let's pick one right there. How? Oh, the answer is right there too. So I guess I don't want to do that. Let's do that. I'm going to put it to the side. Let's see if y'all know. Let's see. Get y'all a random one. We'll go back to dissecting those LSAs there. Configuring OSPF. Oh, some of these are just CCIE too. Can I look at that one? I want to look at that one. Yep, flashcards. Yeah, man. 300 a day you do, bro? That's crazy. Okay. This is actually from the Wendell Odom's official CCNA guide. So I guess this would be considered a CCNA level OSPF question. How many router LSAs will you find in an OSPF router? How many router LSAs? How many router LSAs will you find in an OSPF area? Let's see. So that's just one of those flashcards there. But anyways, shout out to NetworkBruh. If you want a copy of those, I'll give you a link to his website, and you can see where his flashcards are and stuff like that. NetworkBruh. Let's see. But if you also just Google that, NetworkBruh CCIE flashcards, you'll see it there. But here is a copy of the link. And shout out to Pete for that, man. If you want to join my Discord server, he got an ultimate guide or ultimate guide. I don't know if that's a typo or not, but it has all the OSPF LSA types. So make sure y'all join the Discord server. He put it in there. Here is a link for the flashcards. Pete got it correct. One for each router. Yes, that's exactly what it said here too. One router LSA for each router. I need to memorize that. That's the first one we need to know. Router LSA. It is a type 1 LSA, and there's one for each router. It also stays within the area, right? That's one thing we need to know too. Yep, Pete just said it. In the area. Man, great minds think alike, man. I'm glad you pointed that out too. So, back to the lab. We needed to verify OSPF and explore LSAs on D1, right? So D1, we want to do show IP. Matter of fact, since we're on LSA topic, let's just show IP OSPF database, and we'll see. With multi-area OSPF, we'll generate more LSAs, right? So right here is what me and Pete were just talking about, right? This is what's called a type 1 LSA. They also call it a router link state. I don't know why they don't just this is what I hate about this show command here. They didn't break down, they didn't just say this is type 1 and then this is type 2. Well, actually, I believe, that's type 2. Summary netlink, I believe is it type 3 or is it type 5? I believe it's type 3. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But I think this is type 1. That's type 2 for sure. And I believe that's type 3. I can't remember. Let me look at Pete's guide, actually, in the Discord server. IP with ease. He has got a good site, too. Shout out to him. That's a good site. I like that one. Pete said I didn't notice the typo. It's all good, man. I guess I'm a spelling nerd like that, man. Let's say types. The ultimate guide. Okay. So Type 1, yes, is the router LSA. I'm gonna star this. I'm gonna bookmark this right here. This looks like a good one. I like this. I like this one, Pete. We'll save that to my study. Other bookmarks. No. Choose another folder. CC and a Cisco study. Boop. Okay. And then summary LSR or summary LSA is type 3 or 4. Summary LSA. So it's type 3 or 4. So yeah, I think I was correct in saying that. This type 1, this is type 2 LSA, and this type 3 LSA. So type 1 again is it is flooded within the area. What else can we say about it? It gives the router ID. So in this case, we're on D1. It says this is an LSA right here. That is my router ID, right? This is router 1. That's router 1's LSA. That's router 1. He is 111. That one. And then the advertising router is him, right? So, and this is why I'm glad I'm dissecting it this way. When I'm explaining it to y'all, I'm looking at it. It helps me remember. So, this is another one. This is my own LSA, I guess. This is me, the one that I flooded to him, right? Because I am 111 too, right? So that is me, and I am the advertising router. So that is that is the type 1 LSA, and this is the information it contains. My router ID, it stays within this area. What else we want to say about that? Y'all got any questions so far? Or Dan said type 3. Type 3, yes, I think you're right. I think you're right. This would be the type 3. This one right here would be the type 3 LSA. And type 3 LSA is known as yes, summary LSA. What else can we say about it? I like this. I like this this link you gave us here, man. Y'all make sure y'all join that Discord server. Pete put a really good guide that breaks down the LSAs. Has like images and everything that helps us break it down too. So make sure you join the Discord server. Here is a link to it right here. Bloop. And I'm not just saying that just so y'all can join this shit. He really gave us a good one, and he couldn't put it in this chat right here. So but if you want to go ahead and subscribe to your boy. Type 3 LSA, summary LSA. The type 3 LSA is used to share network information with other areas or inter-area. So D1, obviously, he doesn't know about, how far can I go back? Good. So D1, he does not know about area 2 until he gets a type 3 LSA, if I'm not mistaken, right? Type 3 LSA. So let's break down that type 3 LSA there. We got a type 3 LSA from 10.4. That's a network address. The advertising router, we learned it from this guy right here. So he gave us all these type 3 LSAs. The link ID has some these network addresses though. So let's break down what a type 3 does. These LSAs are advertised by the ABR. So he is the ABR. You know what the ABR is, right? The area border router, right? Why is he the area border router? Because he's a router that sits between this area and that area, right? So he would be considered a ABR, right? These LSAs are represented in the routing table as OIA routes. So let's take a look at our OIA routes. Get this calculator out of the way. Show IP OSPF. No, show IP route. Show IP route. So we should have some OIA or inter-area routes. And there they are right there. This is an inter-area route, right? What is the 10.10.4.0 network? That is somewhere remote. That looks like it is out here. That is how we learned about, that's how D1, who is way the fuck over there, learned about this right here, is because router 1, with the router ID of this guy, quad 1, right? Who is that? Quad 1. That is router 1. So we got that information. We learned about this network using this type 3 LSA from this advertising router, who is router 1. So we learned about this network from that guy right there. That is the reason why. That is so cool. That is so cool. So we learned about this remote network from that guy. So that's what a type 3 does. To flood, the LSA is also type 3 LSA, is to flood information through the autonomous system. They are regenerated by the ABRs, this guy right here, and this guy right here. He is also an ABR because he sits in between what? Area 0 and area 2. So he is also an ABR, right? And I'm not just doing this just like, like y'all in third grade. It's just me like doing these annotations and stuff like that. And believe it or not, I go back and watch these videos. That's how I remember some of this stuff. Y'all remember that learning pyramid I'm always showing y'all, right? Discussion and teaching others, and like just in a learning environment like this, it really helps this information stick. LSA 3 is also, it gives us information about inter-area routes, which we just discussed. Network summary LSA describes network from another area generated by ABRs, which we just said, and is propagated between areas. It contains network ID and subnet mask. So that is why these are just networks. So we learned about the 10.10.4.0 network from this router, this guy right here. So we learned about that network from him. We also learned about the 10.10.50 network. Where's that? That is over here. So we learned about that network also from this guy, and it is also a remote network, so it's way the hell out there. 17.16.0.0, where's that? That is this network. That is really a remote network. We're not directly attached to him, so that's what type 3 gives us information about. But either way, we learned them all from our directly attached neighbor, Quad 1, who is this guy right here, the ABR, right? What else they wanted us to verify or explore? Let's explore type 2 LSAs. What did the type 2 give us? Y'all got any questions so far? Am I losing anybody? Am I making it more confusing? Yes, thank you for putting that in the chat. But that is also the link about those LSAs that Pete put in the chat there, breaking down those LSAs. I like this one. I like this guide right here. This is a great guide. I saved it to my study, my bookmarks there. LSA type 2 is the network LSA. And this is really helping me remember this. I'm going to go back and watch these for sure. Type 2 LSA. It is generated by the DR on the broadcast network. Y'all remember what DR is, right? It is not doctor. The DR will be considered the designated router. He is the guy that we synchronize our link state database to, right? So I would say probably router 1 is probably the designated router. Let's verify. Verify. Show IP OSPF. Let's say interface. What interface is that? We'll check this interface right here, which is probably 01. No, it's 02. So 0 GI 0/2, and we'll see who the designated router is. Designated router is 1112. So me, I am the designated router for this area right here. So I'll say that again. For this network right here, 10.10.0.0. This guy is the designated router, probably because he has the higher router ID, or he had OSPF turned up first. I'm going to say it was because of the higher router ID, as opposed to this guy's router ID, which is Quad 1. But the backup designated router is this guy. So I am the DR. I am the DR. And he is the BDR, right? The backup designated router for this BB. What am I thinking of? LeVar Ball here? BDR. He is the BDR, right? What else can we say about the type 2 LSA? It includes the network ID, subnet mask, and also the list of attached routers in the transit. Good to know. I like this one. So let's do a show IP OSPF database to take a look at those LSAs again. Type 2 is this right here. This is the type. Let's focus on this. This is a type 2 LSA. Netlink LSA, area 1. For area 1. The link ID 10.10.0.2, which is this right here. That is the link ID. Advertising router would be, I guess, me. So I'm flooding that LSA, I guess. Right? Quad 1, 2, triple 1, 2. Yep. That is the age. Is that a declining age, or is that how long is it keep incrementing? 1661. Anybody know? I guess it's incrementing. Y'all got any pointers or anything else? Got to go. Enjoyed watching. Appreciate you for tuning in, Raphael. We're going to cut it off in a little bit. I typically stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just streamed a little late today because, like I said, I was busy at work and stuff like that. But we're going to try to get back on schedule tomorrow. And it's usually just an hour stream. So, but I'm doing a little deep dive on these LSAs. Appreciate you for tuning in, though. Make sure you subscribe to your boy, man. Verify. What else we wanted to see here? Here's another command that I haven't used in a while. But that might break down type 5 LSAs, though. Let's continue with the type 2s, though. Type 2. This LSA can also can be flooded only within the area and cannot cross the ABR. So, type 2 LSA. I know it's a lot here. So we got type 2 LSA, right? We'll draw a little envelope here. This is going to be the type 2 LSA. We'll do a little number 2 there. Bloop. And he is going to be flooded going this way. But he's going to stay within this area here. So I'm flooding this information. What am I giving him? What am I giving to router 1 with this LSA here? It's type 2 LSA. I would say I'm giving out this network to this guy right here using the type 2 LSA. If anybody wants to point that out. But I think that is how router 1 is going to learn about this network through Delta 1. Let's see. Let's go to router 1 and see. Let's go to router 1. Router 1 right here. Let's take a look at his OSPF database. So IP OSPF database. We have here's our type 1 LSAs, right? We have the link ID of quad 1. Who's that? That's me. That's my type 1 who's getting flooded that way. And then we have another type 1 LSA from 2.2.2.1. Who is that? That is this guy. So he gave me also a type 1 LSA. And I also got a type 1 LSA from 3.3.3.1. Who's that? That is this guy. Probably because they're all in that same area. So that's how I learned about that. And this is the advertising router. All of those guys right there. Type 2 again. What did we say about type 2? We said they are generated by the designated router on the broadcast network. Y'all got any questions or... No, that's a type 3 summary. Which one is that? This one right here? This type 3 summary, this would be type 2, right? I don't remember which one I was confusing y'all with. Oh, see, this one got way more LSAs. Oh my goodness, bro. So this is type 1 again. This is type 2. This is type 3. 4 area 0. That's why it's got more too, right? So he's got more because we got different types of LSAs for the different areas, right? So here's a type 1, 4 area 1 on router 1. So, yep, right there. Quad 1, that is me. Here's my other, this guy right here. An LSA from him. Type 1, 4 area 1. And then type 2, 4 area 1 right here. Who is that? 10.0.0.0.2. It is that right there is the link ID. So that's the interface. And then the advertising router, which is this guy right here. Type 2, again for area 1. This would be type 3. I guess that's what you were pointing out to, Pete. Dan said it's the O in the routing table. It's how they learn generated. It's how they learn generated by the DR. Okay, sorry if you said info about area 1 would go into area 0. That is a type 3 summary because they share network info between areas. So type 3 info share network between areas like this from 0 to 1 and vice versa, right? That's how we learn about different areas with type 3s, right? That's what you're saying? Not type 2? Let's see. It's your O in the routing table. It's how they learn generated by the DR. Yeah, I really have to get down to the nitty gritty with these LSAs here, man. Let's see what else on here. I guess there was a couple questions towards the end too. Routers in this topology are used in the following roles. We got internal routers, backbone routers, area border routers, and ASBRs. So basically, they just want us to define which router is which, and then some of them might fall into more than one category, and then we'll just call it a night because there's just these last questions there. Again, this is chapter 9 in the CCNP lab manual if you have a copy of it. But so let's do this. And I think I've answered a couple of these already. Anyway, I'm gonna put some of the answers here, and you guys just kind of put in the chat there. We all do. This is good to learn. Hey, man, I really got to break this. I really have to get down to the nitty gritty on getting these LSAs memorized. There's just so many of them, man. I don't know about y'all. All right, so it's either going to be a internal router. I'm going to put all in here. Internal routers. I'm going to separate them up, right? Backbone routers. Area border routers, and ASBRs, or autonomous system boundary router. Somebody said autonomous system border router yesterday, so I guess they go hand in hand. Who knows? So for what type of OSPF router is router 1? Of those 4 that I put in the chat there, right? There's 4. Yes, he could be either one. He might be more. He might fall more than one. So router 1 right here. Is he an internal router, a backbone router, an area border router, or an ASBR? Y'all let me know. I'm a router 1. And then we're going to ask about router 2, router 3, and then D1, D2, and then we're pretty much done for the night, man. Because yeah, those like we're not gonna learn all these LSAs in one night here. At least I'm not. I don't have them memorized yet. I probably need to just launch this lab up again. I might save these, launch up this lab again, and then just dissect these LSAs, man. Because there's a lot to learn here. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save these, and then just dissect them. Y'all do the same if y'all haven't got them memorized, because I damn sure don't. D1. Save all of these. I ain't got to do these labs again. At least I can't do that. Can I? Yes, I could. Yes, I could. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And then I think there's a way you could just do save on the PCs, right? Save like that. There it goes right there. Yeah, you can save with just the save like that. PC1 and PC2. So no, I didn't save him yet. So I got to go to Delta 2 and save him. He's written, and I got to go to enable mode and fix that. Dan said it's an area border router. Peter Hunt said it's an area border router. Pete agrees, and I agree with you guys as well. This guy is an AB, and I said it already, I think earlier in the screen, didn't I? He is an ABR. He is an area border router. Why? Because he sits between 2 different areas. He sits between area 0, this guy right here, and he also sits between area 1. Right? So yeah, you guys, I believe, I agree with all you guys. Y'all get the last one, or not last one. What type of OSPF router is router 2? So router 2. This guy right over here. Is he an ABR, an ASBR, an internal router, or a backbone router? He might fall more than one category. And I'm gonna think about my answers. I should have put this in the what was that quiz? The Kahoot quiz, right? I should have made a Kahoot quiz. What type of OSPF router is router 2? Is he an internal router, a backbone router, an area border router, ABR, or an ASBR? Router 2. What do y'all think? I think, I'm trying to come up with an answer here. Remember, this is from the CCNP lab manual. Do they have answers in the book? I don't know. Let's see. They might have the answers in the book. I do not know. Let me see. Let's see. Ooh. Peter Hunt said he's an internal router. He's an internal router. Let me see. I agree. But I'm going to see. I think he's also something else too, though. And now see, Isaiah said he's a backbone router. And I agree with that also. So that's why I think he falls into both categories. Peter said he's an internal router. Isaiah said he's a backbone router. Let's see. Dan said he's also a backbone router. Is he not an internal router? Because so far, I like both of those answers. I think he's an internal router and he's a backbone router. I say he's a backbone router because obviously he sits in it. He has interfaces that sit in area 0, and he also is internal because both of his interfaces sit in the same area. So essentially, I guess router 1 is also a backbone router and ABR. He sits between both areas, one of which is area 0, which is a backbone. So is router 1 also a backbone router as well? Router 2 goes out to the internet. So that means he's a backbone router. Is that why? Okay. So he is a backbone router. Why is he not an internal router though? Why is he not an internal router? Or if he is, I would have said he is an internal router and a backbone router. I don't know. Let me see. OSPF. Let's see. OSPF. I'm going to look it up real quick. OSPF internal router versus. No, we'll just do OSPF internal router. Internal routers are routers whose directly connected networks all belong to the same area. Yes, so he's definitely an internal router. So you're correct there. Who said that? The first one. Peter Hunt said he's an internal router. I agree with that one, but I also agree that he was a backbone router as well. So he is definitely an internal router because, according to this definition right here, internal routers are routers whose directly connected networks all belong to the same OSPF area. So this interface sits in area 0 and that interface sits in area 0. So therefore, he is an internal router. But I would have said he's also a backbone router because he sits in area 0, or he has interfaces that are both in area 0. Or is it because he is a backbone router because, like Pete said, he has a connection to the internet? Which, by the way, I forgot to set up that loopback. Now that I think about it. Pete said, or Peter Hunt said, he is connected to the internet, so I am wrong. Okay. Oh, gotcha. So, okay. R2 is like headquarters, the backbone router. So, okay. So he is pretty much the backbone router. He's a backbone OSPF. And then is it also because he sits in area 0? Is the reason why he's a backbone router? And he's not an internal router. But it says here, look, I'm looking at this definition here. OSPF internal routers are routers whose directly connected networks, this directly connected network, all belong to the same OSPF area. They all sit in what? Area 0. So why is he not an internal router? Let me make sure I pick a Cisco white paper for this one. OSPF internal router, just like that right there. Area types, router types. This is blog routerswitch.com. We're going to be cutting this stream short in a little bit here. I just like this discussion with you guys. Pete said, in OSPF, backbone means area 0. Right. But if that's the case, so router 1 is not a backbone router because he has an interface not just in the area 0, which is the backbone, but he also has an interface in area 1. So therefore, he's not a backbone router. He's not an internal router. He's an ABR. But router 2, I don't understand why he is not a internal router. Is it because he's connected to the internet? Maybe if I had, let's see, if I had a router here and he has an interface there, he would be just considered an internal router. I think that's what it is right there. And he sits in area 0. So if this was like router 7 right here, he would be considered an internal router. He sits in the area and that's it. I think that's what it is right there. Peter said there is an interface connected that is not an OSPF area. Oh yeah, the loopback. The loopback. So that's why he is not an internal router. I like that. See, I'm gonna remember that right there. I like that. I like the way you put that out there. So router 2, that's a good reason. That's a good reason why it is not an internal router. And it's not that I'm trying to prove why you're wrong, but we just need to see why that answer was wrong, Pete. But you also told us why. You said router 2 is a backbone router, right? Which most of y'all said he is a backbone router. He is not an internal router because he has this interface that is sitting in area 0, but he also has this interface sitting in an area 0, which qualifies him to be an internal router. But this interface, like you said, is not in area 0. It actually connects us to the internet, and therefore that would make him a backbone router and not internal, because not all of his interfaces sit in area 0. So, yeah. In terms of definition, I don't know. But yeah, I think what Pete just said kind of cleared it for me. That kind of like gave me a light bulb right there on why he's not an internal router. And like I was saying, if we added, let's say we added another router and connected him here and put him like let's say he's router 8. He only has an interface there, and that's it. He don't have an interface in area 2. He don't have an interface in area 1. He just has an interface in area 1 or area 0, and that's it. So therefore, he'd be considered an internal router. He's not a multi-area. He's not an area border router. He is not an ASBR. He is just internally an OSPF, and that's it. Does that clear it up for y'all? That I think, like me explaining it and kind of discussing with you guys, and Peter Hunt's clarification. I guess there's two Pete's in here. That clarification kind of cleared it up for me. So that is what consists of an internal router. So do we have any internal routers here yet? But let's see. We only got 2 more to go, and we're gonna cut this stream short here. Router. What type of router is D1? What type of OSPF router is D1? So this guy right here. Well, we did router 3. No, we didn't do router 3. What type of router is area 3 or router 3? I think you guys know that one already, though. What type of, is he a internal router? Is he an ASBR? Is he a backbone router or an ABR? Yes, for router 8. Yes, if we had router 8, we had router 8 here. We had router 9 here, right? 9 here. We had, I guess he's 8. He'll be an 8 like this. We had router 10 here. They only have one interface, and they all sit in area 0. They're not necessarily a backbone router just because they sit in area 0. They're internal routers. So I need to remember that right there. Just because they sit or have an interface in area 0 don't mean they're a backbone router. We consider him a backbone router if, like you guys said, they have they sit in area 0 and then they connect us to, I guess, the internet pretty much. Pete said ABR for router 3. Yes, I agree with that too. Router 3 is an ABR. Why? Because he sits between two areas. He sits in between area. He has an interface in area 2. He also has an interface in area 0. Who's that interface? That guy right there and this guy right there. And finally, Delta 2 or D2. Did we do D1 yet? I don't think we did D1. D1. That router there. Is he an internal router? Is he a backbone router? Is he an ABR, area border router? Or is he an ASBR? autonomous system boundary router. We got Aaron in the building. Show IP OSPF border routers. Like that one. Let's do that on the next one. On D2, we'll use that command for D2, which essentially they're probably the same type of router. What type of router is D1? Well, technically it's a layer 3 switch, but what type of OSPF router is D1? Is he an internal router? This guy right here. Is he an internal router? Is he a backbone router? Is he a ASBR or is he an ABR? We're almost done here, y'all. We almost done. Two more and we out of here. And then I definitely need to dissect these LSAs, man. Oh my God, there's just so many of them, and there's 11 of them, and I'm getting confused with just 3 or 4 of them, right? My bruh sound effects here. It's slow ass phone. Pete said internal. I like that answer too. Just like we said with router 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14. And my bruhs don't work right now for some reason. There you go. D1, this guy right here, would be considered an internal router. He has one interface, actually this one too, and they both sit in area 1. He's not a backbone router because he does not have an interface in area 0. Not only that, he's not connected to the internet. I mean, he can get to the internet, but he's not directly, like, he doesn't have an interface that's on the internet, right? What else can we say? Why is he just an internal router? And he's not an ABR because he doesn't sit between 2 areas, right? So an ABR sits between 2 areas. He only has he has this interface in area 0 and that interface in area 0. And instead of just asking y'all, quizzing y'all, we already know that makes D2 also an internal router because he has this interface right there in area 2, and he also has this interface area 2 as well, right? So let's do what Aaron was saying. We'll go to D2, this guy right here, and do that show IP OSPF border routers. This is show IP OSPF border routers. And we'll see, we got some border routers here. I like that command. I don't think I've ever, I've probably seen it in passing, but never really used it in in practice just like this here. So this gave us information about the border routers. Who's 3.3.3.1? Who's that? That is this guy right here for area 2. So he will be considered a border router. That's good to know. I like this one. Is that on this list of commands? No, it isn't. I like that one. They told us about show IP OSPF database ASBR summary and then show IP OSPF database external. But this breakdown right here shows us the area border routers. I like this one. It gives us who the router ID is. 3.3.3.1, that guy right there. It gives us the letter I, which just lets us know we get some intra-area routes from him. Or it's a intra-area route. We learned it through 10.10.4.1, which is my interface, right? Yeah, so am I D2? No. That interface right there, 10.4.4.1, that's what that interface right there is. I guess that's saying that's who I learned it from, or where that's where I learned it from. Is it my GI02 or is it his? Let's see. That's my GI02. That's mine. So I learned it from GI002, and then that would be the area border router. This guy right there. And it defines him as an ABR. It's in area 2. SPF1, what is that? The shortest path first, the algorithm, right, that OSPF works on. But what does the SPF1 tell us? It's been ran one time, the SPF algorithm. Run it again. It's just SPF1 still. This is the router process ID. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I like that command. Shout out to Aaron for that one. Zai said ASBR. Are you talking about D1 and D2? No, they're not necessarily ASBRs. These guys are internal routers. So why are they not ASBRs? An ASBR would be a router that let's say we had a router that's sitting over here on the internet, right? Well, we know that this router is sitting on the internet, right? And he is router number, I don't know, he'll be router 17. Router 17. He's sitting on the internet, right? And but we know that BGP is ran on the internet, right? So this router is not running OSPF. He's running BGP, right? And let's say we had this interface and we had a BGP pairing here, right? And we made this right here and this interface right there participate also in BGP. Guess what? That makes this guy a ASBR. Why? Because we sit in between two autonomous systems. So, right, with BGP, we work with ASs, right? Autonomous systems, right? So that's an AS. Therefore, this interface would probably be participating in that same AS or in another AS, whatever. If it's external or internal, it's most likely external. So that would make us on the border of two autonomous systems, the BGP autonomous system and the OSPF, which OSPF doesn't work with autonomous systems. They work with areas, but we sit in between pretty much two different routing protocols. That would make him an ASBR. So, and like also Dan said, ASBR is doing redistribution. So if we was to redistribute these OSPF, God forbid you would do that, redistribute some OSPF routes into the internet or vice versa, that would also make him an ASBR. Typically, you would redistribute routes through two different routing protocols. Am I correct in saying that, Dan? You seem to be a sharp one, and appreciate you tuning in and giving us, some insight there. And I think, yeah, we've already defined who is what. I clearly need to do some more investigating with these LSAs and stuff like that and kind of memorize these. I saved this lab. If you want to copy this, make sure you join my Discord server. I broke down the steps on if you want to want to replay this stream and follow along on how we did. It's just I didn't do the interface, the basic homework, host names and changing, turn off DNS lookup and all that stuff. I did off stream to save us some time. And look at that, we're still like 1 hour over the I did a 1 hour and a half stream here. So, but either way, it's my way of kind of learning and just dissecting. When I'm like doing this, like I said, I go back and rewatch these, and that's how I learn and stuff like that. Zai said, okay, understood. Okay, I'm glad that kind of broke that down. And yeah, Dan agrees. That's what an ASBR does, and it's in its role in the OSPF network. But yeah, for now, man, just make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button for this video. That'll help out with the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that. Not just for me to get more viewers and stuff like that, but the more viewers and stuff like that, Dan, I haven't really seen you in this chat room, and you really helped us out. When we have more people like you in the chat room, can help correct me and help me learn and stuff like that, and vice versa. When the stuff that I know, I teach you guys as well. It makes for a better learning environment and stuff like that. That helped me on ASBR. Thanks. Okay, cool, Pete. I'm glad that helped you out, man. That concept I kind of understood there. I just need to do more of a breakdown with the LSAs. They just like, there's so many of them, man. But anyways, man, for now, comment, like, subscribe to the network.